Hey friends, welcome back to my channel with another educational video related to English literature and language lovers and students. Hoping all of you are good, healthy, wealthy, prosperous and enjoying life. Friends, I am hoping you are liking my efforts and videos. If it is true, then don't forget to press the like button, subscribe my channel, press the bell on, share my videos with your friends and moreover, comment below for your suggestions. Your comments mean a lot to me. So friends, now we come to the today's topic. Francis Bacon 1561 to 1626 is the man and product of Renaissance. Bacon's essays are counsels and are designed for the practical benefit of man and not for his emotional or imaginative development. This utilitarian attitude is most evident in his 59 essays. The revival of learning, the study of humanism, the reformist zeal, the note of nationalism, the pursuit of discovery, spread of painting, these multifarious influences of the Renaissance had its impact on literature. Imagination is replaced by realism, fiction and falsity give way to fact and truth. Exaggeration is no longer indulged in. Artificiality is substituted by naturalness. Reason prevails over credulity and blind faith. Search for truth or scientific inquiry is the dominant feature. Fanaticism stops in the hands of liberty. In short, literature begins to convey facts. These new tendencies are evident in every poet and prose writer of merit in Elizabethan period, and Bacon is no exception in this regard. Bacon is the master of utilitarian principles. The intellect of Bacon was one of the most powerful and searching ever possessed by man, and his developments of the inductive philosophy revolutionized the future thought of the human race. Rightly so, Bacon's essays are the art of success among men. He comes out as a moralist, the statesman and the man of word, and his essays are the treasure of wisdom arising from the universal insight into the affairs of the world. There is a blend of deep wisdom and practical shrewdness with style and meditative eloquence. Bacon expresses his views in the form of antithesis. It is the outcome of his mental habit fastened by his practice in the courts. His essays remain forth compendium of natural philosophy. There is found wit, keen observation, graver or clever mundane judgments. Even a cursory glance at the essays will bear the truth of the above statement. His 59 essays, covering varied range of topics, exhibit his in-depth knowledge, ideas, and perception on variegated aspects of human life. In fact, Bacon was a versatile man of genius, a philosopher, scientist, literary scholar, statesman, lawyer, and above all, a practical man of the world. His essays convey profound and condensed thought in a style that is at once clear and rich and bear his worthy identity. Roughly, Bacon's essays can be grouped into three categories: essays in relation to the world and society, essays in relation to individualism, and essays in relation to his makers, that is, God or nature. The first group that evaluates the relationship of mankind to physical world and their mutual relations include of seditions and troubles, of great place, of discourse, of judicature, of suitors, of gardens. The second group describing man in his intellectual and moral relations with others cover essays like of parents and children, of marriage, of envy, of love, of travel, of friendship, of health, of custom and education, of followers and friends, of studies, of ceremonies and respects, of honor and reputation, of fame. Man's relationship with his maker and the unseen world is primary focus in the third group that include essays like of death, of unity in religion, of goodness and goodness of nature, of atheism, of superstition, of wisdom for a man's self, of nature in men. But grouping is more pedantic while each of the essays of Bacon makes interrelated studies and views. Nevertheless, two of Bacon's famous essays of studies and of discourse. In these essays, Bacon is a champion of learning. In of studies, Bacon means not mere act of studying, but the results that follow systematic and long practiced habits of study, with education and culture. Bacon points out the utility and method of study and enumerates the practical benefits to be derived from the study of different subjects. With an astonishing freshness of illustration, Bacon points out the key use of studies: A. Delight in privacy, B. Ornament in society, and C. Ability in practical business. Bacon puts caution on the disadvantages of studies. Spending too much time in them, says Bacon, is sloth, whereas the superfluous display of learning is affectations. Being too much guided by them and thus separating studies from practical use is the humor of a scholar. Bacon, the guide, provides certain rules for study. First, books are to be weighed and considered. Again, books are to be read according to its importance, in parts without much care, wholly with careful attention, through summaries prepared by deputies. Bacon includes reading, conference, and writing in his studies to acquire knowledge, to gain wit and readiness, to learn exactness and accuracy, respectively. Bacon values different modes of studies according to make wise use of them. He prefers history to foster wisdom, poetry to foster wit, mathematics to foster subtlety, natural philosophy to foster depth, moral philosophy to foster gravity, logic and rhetoric to foster the capacity of debate and argument. His pragmatic attitude is also evident in his final observation that specific studies should be pursued in order to cure specific inefficiencies of mind, just as medicines are taken to cure certain diseases of the body. Bacon's other essay of discourse prioritizes a practical Baconian guide to fluent, flowing, graceful, and effective communication, which would definitely enrich the course of living. Bacon prescribes certain guidelines to improve oratory to be utilized in the practical course of life. He denounces the superfluous, showy, and jaded argument and welcomes thoughtful, fact oriented, earnest, witty, added with the humorous touch in our discourse. Bacon finds conversation an occasion where none is severely hurt, rather, it should be amusing and a portrayal of the persona of the speaker. According to Bacon, running a conversation is like riding a horse, which needs both the speed and control. Like a utilitarian guide, Bacon advises to speak seldom, carrying value or weight in them. Further, Bacon adds that speakers should yield virtue in them, and a person hysterical in vain should avail himself of others' wit. He again stresses the proportionate use of circumstances and matter so that oration never comes to be wearisome or blunt. Bacon's keen interest on church, religion, and morality is evident in his essays like Of Truth, of Superstition, of Atheism, of Unity, of Religion, of Goodness, of Innovation. His deep and earnest interest in ecclesiastical matters, moral and ethical values are evident in these pieces. For example, in his Of Unity of Religion, he strikes a point of view which is still relevant in our days of religious fanaticism. Commenting on the religious tolerance and humanism, Bacon says, religion being the chief bent of human society is a happy thing when itself is well contained within the true band of unity. Bacon's politic and statesmanship is quite vivid in Of Great Place, of Nobility, of Sedition, of Troubles, of the True Greatness of Kingdoms and States. The intrigues, tricks, cunnings, internal politics of favors and ins and outs of courtly life are also gone through his scrutiny. His acute observation on related judiciary system and corruption rampant among clerks and clients of lawyers are arguably stated in Of Judicature of Suitors. We cannot miss these fine lines from Of Judicature where Bacon says, judges ought to remember that their office is just care and not just dare. to interpret law and not to make law and give law, of domestic relations, of revenge, of parents and children, of marriage and single life, of envy, of love, of friendship, are consummate mastery of Bacon. Bacon describes wife and children as hostage to fortune, impediments to great enterprises, either of virtue or mischief. He does not appreciate marriage and ignores the bliss of emotional unity. He says unmarried men are best friends, best masters, best servants, but not always best subjects, for they are light to run away, and almost all fugitives are of that conditions. Of Bacon as Renaissance scholar and philosopher, we can only say that he is one of the founders of modern systematic as well as didactic thought. Studies encourage rationality and sound discourse, assimilates culture as well as political base. Naturally, his essays primarily serve as utilitarian purpose. They become the treasure of wisdom arising from the universal insight into the affairs of the world. Bacon in his essays does not appear to be an absolute moralist. His philosophy guides a man to pursue material success. Simulation and dissimulation of empire, of marriage and single life. Bacon's philosophy has been condemned as shallow, irregular, and pure utilitarian. D'Alembert called Bacon the greatest, the most universal, and the most eloquent of philosophers. Pope calls him the wisest, brightest, and meanest of mankind. So, this is all for today's video. Don't forget to press the like button, subscribe my channel, and press the bell icon. Thanks for watching.